Hey, this is so important for all of us to understand. John 10:10 says that the thief's purpose is to steal, kill, and destroy. But then Jesus says, my purpose is. In other words, this is not just a footnote in Jesus's mission. This is his purpose. My purpose is to give you a rich and satisfying life. Another translation says a life in abundance, which is to say a life in all its fullness. Now, I want you to think about this for a second, because it says that the thief's purpose is. Now, in this context, it's talking about the thief, which is one who poses himself as the good shepherd. In context, Jesus makes it clear. He says that the thief are those who came before me. Those are the thieves. And here's what we need to understand about this, that the enemy is never going to come into your life kicking the door, waving the 4-4, portraying himself always as pure evil. No, he's always going to present himself as a counterfeit. It's going to look like the real thing, but it is a counterfeit. So sometimes the enemy comes knocking on your door, presenting himself as love, presenting himself as happiness, presenting himself as peace. Here's what the problem is, that if you can't distinguish between what is true and what is a counterfeit, you will always fall for the lie. Now, we know that the enemy has been disarmed, and we know that no weapon that he forms against us will prosper. However, here's where the power of a lie lies. The power of a lie is in who believes it. In other words, I may not have a weapon, but if I pose as if I do, and you don't know it, you don't know the truth that I've been disarmed, that the weapon has been taken away. I can take my hand and gesture it as a gun, and you might think I have a gun if I place it to your back. But when you know I've been disarmed, I can't get you to do anything, because you know that I don't have a weapon against you. This is why the devil has to pose with counterfeit options. One day I spoke to my friend who was a bank teller, and she was explaining to me how she's able to tell the difference between a $100 bill and a counterfeit. And what she explained was that the way she's able to tell what a counterfeit is not by looking at all the different kind of counterfeit versions of a $100 bill and what they look like. What she explained was that she spent time with the genuine $100 bill. And when you spend enough time with a $100 bill and see what it looks like, you can spot a counterfeit from a mile away. You can tell what is a counterfeit. So what is the thief's purpose? Let me remind you. It is to steal, kill, and destroy. And the way he does that is by presenting counterfeits. But I also want to remind you of God's purpose. Jesus says, my purpose is to give you a rich and satisfying life. And oftentimes we become susceptible to the enemy's lies because we fall for the counterfeit version of abundant life, the counterfeit version of riches, the counterfeit version of prosperity and blessing. We fall for his lies. But when you spend enough time with the shepherd, you can call out a counterfeit from a mile away. His purpose is to steal, kill, and destroy. But God's purpose is to give you a life in abundance.